What's going on YouTube? This is Rybo back at the bench tonight, and this time I've got another cut or carry watch review. This time looking at the Seiko Presage Cocktail Time. So this is the, I don't remember the model number, I'll find it somewhere. But this is the very fancy Seiko Presage. They make this watch in a couple different color options. So you've got a green, a white, a black, and the blue, maybe one more. I think that's it. But you've got this crazy sunburst dial, but it's like sunburst, and it's also you've got those kind of those lines coming out. I'm sure there's a name for that, but I'm not classy enough to know it. Beautiful, beautiful watch. Honestly, I'm in my workshop, so aka my garage. So the lighting that I'm using is really shop lighting, and it's not really made for this type of thing. So a lot of reflections. It's really difficult to see the beauty of this watch. Hopefully, I'll get a good picture of this on wrist, and I'll put it as the thumbnail so you can kind of get a sense for what this looks like. I'll also put it in the blog review. Starting to do updates on the website, and I'll put a link down in the description so you can kind of read and see some better pictures. I'll talk more about that later, but anyway, beautiful watch. This lighting is not really doing it justice, but really fancy, really nice looking watch here. All right, so let me do a quick size comparison, then we'll get into the review. This one will probably be fairly quick, but size comparison, it's always hard with this kind of thing, so I just try to go with the classics. So I'm just going to throw an SKX out here, so this is the 009, and then I'll just throw a turtle out here, which this is the Blue Lagoon. You can see that it's a fairly, it's a smaller watch. It's, I want to say 41 millimeter, something like that. So obviously up next to a diver, it's not going to be all that large, but for a dress watch, it's a good size. It is going a little bit towards the larger size, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And this review is going to be insanely difficult because all you're going to see is my shop lighting up there. You see that LED bulb, or not LED bulb, but you see that tube up there? Yeah, anyway. All right, so things that I like about the Seiko Presage. So one, aesthetics. It's a beautiful watch. This is a great, it'll catch the light. It's understated, but it's it's very nice. It's going to look good as a dress watch. This is just a leather strap that I made years ago. It's nothing fancy. It's not even very well done, but it looks great on it. I think it looks good with kind of the chocolate brown. It looks good. Honestly, this watch would not look bad on a NATO, but it looks good on lots of different color leathers, kind of the cognac color, or maybe a light camel brown or something. So I mean, fairly versatile watch with that dial and that blue color, but just a very nice looking watch. This has a 4R35 movement. It is hand winding. You can probably see that right there, and that's moving. And if I were to pull out the crown here, well, of course I did it where it's right on top of that minute hand, but if I were to pull out the crown there, you can see that it is also hacking. So really nice movement, very nice crown here. So you have the Seiko S there on the crown, so you've got a signed crown. You have some very nice jimping. I'm using a knife term. I forget what we would call that in the watch world, but some really nice stuff there on the crown. So it gives you really nice purchase. Also really nice shape on that crown. So you've got kind of that mushroom shape there. Very nice. It is a large crown for a watch like this, but I think it really works with the aesthetics. So no issue there. And I think that's about it. I mean, you've got this very nice, I don't know if you'd call that a domed crystal. It's a semi-domed crystal. I forget what, I think there is actually a term for what they call this exact style or shape crystal, but there's a hardlex crystal. All in all, just like really nice, just a beautiful little watch. You've got a display case back. I'll say that's a thing I like and dislike. I loved display case backs. I've grown to not like them quite as much. It's a cool movement. It's nothing crazy. So, I mean, it's nothing really all that crazy to show off, but display case backs are cool. I mean, this watch is going for nearly $400. So a display case back typically, I don't know, you don't normally find them on watches that are north of 300, 400, 500, but no issue there. It's still pretty cool to be able to see that. All right, so that's it for things that I like. It's a beautiful watch. Things that I dislike, there's really only one thing. This watch is a little bit too big for my wrists, and it's really not. I mean, if you look at it like that, you say, what are you talking about like that? Especially on your wrists, you should be thankful that that those lugs aren't extending. And I have gotten used to vintage dress watches, and vintage dress watches have made me love smaller dials. I love like the Tano style, the rectangular style old dress watch, automatic dress watches. I've got a beautiful Elgin from 1945. I've got a little Omega, 1961 Omega. I really like smaller dress watches, and the reason, really the reason that I ding this watch is the same reason that I kind of said that the Orient Bambino was a cut for me, and that is because it's just, for my preference, it's just 1 to 2 millimeters too large. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That looks really good on my wrist. I think that fits my wrist fairly well. For a dress watch, I just have been preferring smaller dials. And this one just wears a little bit too big for my preference. That being said, I don't think it's too large. I mean, there's definitely, in the last couple of years, watches have been larger, and they kind of were creeping up there for a while. They've kind of stabilized in terms of the size, but so it's not too big, it's not gaudy, it's not any of that. It's just, for my preference, I prefer something a little bit smaller. But other than that, this would be a carry for me. I'm not going to rush out and buy one of these, but I would wear this. I think this is a very nice watch. Now, it's definitely for dressier occasions. I don't think it's quite as versatile as something else. I was thinking about the Alpinist recently, and it's like, that's a fairly versatile watch. You can kind of dress that up, dress that down. This one I don't think you can really dress down. I mean, this is going to be a 50 meter water resistant. This is going to be really a strict dress watch, and I think that's fine. But I'd say this would be a carry for me, but probably not one that I'm going to rush out and pick up. Hopefully I'll be able to post some better pictures and better thumbnail, and you can see the brilliance of that dial. Yeah. All right, we'll leave it there. Hope you have enjoyed this review, and I will see you next time.